Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. We have shown already Alan how it's done. We have a long way from coming, and we've got there pretty quickly. Just watch McConsole, win another competition and run. Yay! Oh, ah! Hey, well guys, welcome back to Oklahoma. Yeah, as you know, last episode we wrapped up the competition. Just had a bit of fun now. I really had hoped to cut up the truck by the time I started that, but hey. So what are we going to do this episode then? I was thinking this episode maybe have a talk about competition, have a look around the fleet, see what we've done. You know, have a discussion around the challenges that we won or did. Quick discussion about FS15, thoughts on it. Ah! Jesus, Snowman, what are you doing? And then maybe have a talk about what way we want to go in the future, maybe, you know, before this. Yeah, I've had these in for a while, guys, and I really, really wanted to use them. Whoa, gee. Hey, if I'd had the back doors open, I could have went in there. Anyway. Yeah, so, yeah, well, let's just get into it then. Let me get this stopped, though. Ah! Right, okay, that really does not want to stop. Ah, well. Okay, guys. Yeah, so, I suppose we really should start. Maybe we should start with a run around the farms and see how we did, what we did, what equipment we had, and oh, so close. Right, time to stop this. Oh, where'd it go? That way. Ah, bees are just to go this way. Yeah, it's crashing anyway. Alright guys, so let's bounce back to the main farm then. So challenges wise then, $100 million, yeah, but past that in the last episode, no problem. We had to fill the bunkers. We did it not once but twice, pretty easily. I think there's still some in storage actually. Yeah, there's loads in storage, and you know, there was a bin around here somewhere as well. We had a load in. Didn't really see me using this too much through the competition, but I did use it. Actually, a really, really interesting way of storing things. That. So yeah, let's start off with we'll start off this side of the farm then. Of course, we had our 795 Lexians. Pretty good. 1200 Vario heads, dripper headers. We had 6 of those. Yeah, we had also before these. I think there's only 3 here though, is there? Yeah. No, there's 4 of them here. We have 4 of the John Deere 96RT X965T things. And then we had the air seeder. Is there a model number in this? Maybe not. Oh yeah, the 1910 with the 1690 air seeder. Buff. Of course, we had the 2 case axial flows 9230 with the 13.2 meter dripper headers. We've also got the 9 meter corn cutters over there as well. There's 2 of them. We started with those. We've never done anything with this, guys. Basically because I couldn't find anywhere to sell it, so kind of just ignored it. Yeah. A couple of these International 1586, but these were just torn about the conveyor belts. Of course, we had our 721F case loader. We got that pretty early on, and we're using that to start with in the bunks, but we ended up bringing it over here to use with the compost maker. But we'll see, 3 950s. Of course, we just bought this trailer to deal with compost. I don't think there's any in it, no. Oh, Jeffrey's here for the finale too. Hi Jeffrey. of course, then we put it in. We never really done much with this, actually, did we? I think we filled it up once, and that was enough. This is our refinery. You know, dumped canola. We got was it manure out of it, and we also got biodiesel. Fuel tank for running about. Our International Transstar 2. Apparently, it's not for hire. Okay. And a couple of these Fortuna tankers as well. I think that one was mainly just used for transporting diesel. Yeah. Of course, we had all our Kinsey 1500s. I can't remember how many of these we finished off with. Let's see. Garage. Quick look and see how many of these 1500s we finished with. There you go, there. 17 of them. Okay. These worked really well with courseplay. I have to admit it. They did do a fantastic job. Although, in saying that, it held just over what one of our Wilson trailers held. So we needed, you know, quite big capacity on them. Let's head back over this way then. This shed here then, we had five of these John Deere square balers. We originally used those on field 6 for square bales of the alfalfa, and then we've done some square, straw bales with them. All our lovely Xerions. Two different kinds of Xerions there. Two different mods. That's one mod. That was the other mod. I think I much preferred this one, the lighter colored green to the darker colored green. I don't know. It just seemed better. Of course, all our couple of them Fortuna trailers, we used that when we chopped the field. We had that from the start. That was just basically emptying the fields. And then we have 6 of these Kroon pickup wagons, loading wagons. Meh. Let's quickly just dander over here. This we originally used to transport livestock when we had, beef and chickens and pigs. Quickly got out of them, guys, because I don't think, they took off the focus of the competition. They took a bit of work. I would have liked to have done more with the chickens. No, not chickens. Chickens were worthless. The fattened chickens were worthless. I think they were like $9 or £9, whatever monetary unit you play in, you got on those. But the pigs and the beef, I wouldn't mind having more to do with them. We'll see in future, maybe. I don't know. Of course, down and over here, a couple of them big Fortuna trailers, the Flegel ASS, and then we had this setup here, guys. We have 10 of these, which is basically a Pete, a Wilson, and a Pup. And these were the main bad boys for the selling. These constantly run grain from here to the sell points, or fruit from here to the sell points. And this is what we've done the most of our selling with. Worked pretty well. The one thing I liked about Courseplay on these is Courseplay actually recognised the pup and filled the pup. I have never had that in any subsequent version of this game. It never recognised the trailer behind for me. But it's nice to do that here on 15. We see where else we're running down here. Another one of the internationals with the conveyors just for the sugar beets and the potatoes. And okay, we go over here just to plough with another Xerion. Then we have our Volvo with our horse trailer, and this is where we made a lot of money here, selling horses, guys. This is the only trailer that I know of that transport these horses. Again, you'll see RD Allen using this one as well. And this actually used this in the original series too. So it was the only way we knew how to sell horses. Of course, horses we keep in here. I think we finished off with, let's see, I want to say 250 of them. 213, yeah, but 250. We were keeping it around 250. Easy enough to feed, easy enough to look after. I kind of don't know this for sure, but to me it seems like the more you have, the quicker they convert. 250 was a nice round number. Oh, the old wagon. I don't think we only had one of these. I think nice conveyor belt for the front of the 3-point hitch on it, and you can get it for front loaders and telehandlers as well. I know there's different versions of it for that, but I just took the 3.1. Worked really, really well. Never seen this in subsequent versions of the game either. I like this. Always liked that mod, and for that fact, the other. Oh, here, can't get over that. Quickly run over here. This conveyor belt again, another Maru, however you pronounce that. These never really made it into subsequent versions of the games either, and that's pretty. I wish they had of, because these actually work really, really well. I like the function of them. Of course, go over to our cows. 4 mixing stations get on here. 4 mixing stations, which are still pretty full. Yeah. I think the only really time we were really needed the 4 of these is when we bumped up the number of cows from, I think it was like 200 to 500. Then we needed them, but after that there, I think maybe 1 or 2 of these would have sufficed just to keep the cows filled up. If we look at the cow screen, it's a bit overlapping with the chickens, so ignore that. Chickens there isn't any. So 506 cows. They took over 1 million litres in TMR to actually get them up to the full feeding capacity, and these did keep up with no problem. Water-wise, I think we set this up on stream, or on screen. Just one of these big slurry refill tank things, but used for water, so one of the universal ones. And of course we decorated it with half a cow sticking out of it. And a placeable water trigger. We did put this down, guys, for storing the grass and the straw. While it's functional, it was just too slow, and the conveyor belts were actually quicker, so it ended up this became defunct. It just became a building that sat there. Quite honestly, it does look as if it was part of the map because of the way it fills in with the horse shed and whatnot. Yeah. But I would dare say on another map, if it wasn't using conveyor belts, that would have been quite handy. Of course, a couple of the different universal tanks. You never really seen me use this one. I did transport some slurry up and sold it. But Courseplay couldn't really do the. While it it came down here. I had to fill it myself, and it automatically unloaded to the shell station. But when it arrived back down here, I needed to fill it again, and it was just like, meh, I can't be bothered with this. So the slurry is just sat with nothing to do. This was a mod as well, the manure fill pit. So we just basically moved it out of there, put it into here, and it automatically overfilled. We were using this for the greenhouses and berries when we had them, but they were problematic. No, they weren't problematic. They worked well, but I just had too many fill types on the map, I think. And the berries and that just they lagged the game out. I think in another map that didn't have all the extra fill types and all would have worked perfectly. I've seen them work perfectly, so yeah. We used it, and then we also used this for the compost maker. Don't really use it too much online or on recordings, but it was there. 3 Scanias with the autoload trailers behind it, same setup. These are really good. I love these trailers. And another thing I liked about these as well is with Courseplay, whenever you went to, for example, the Bale sell point, Courseplay automatically unloaded them for me. I have never had that before, and if you can remember back to the episode where we got it to work, I was really excited. I really enjoyed that. I would love to see that come back to future versions of the game, because I think it's a really neat feature that Courseplay should not have lost in the first place, but okay then, if I take ourselves, that's more or less the main farm, I think. Come on, Jeffrey. If we run over here, we go up to the fattening farm, or what I call the fattening farm. We never really done a lot of work up here. Oh, excuse me. Never really done a lot of work up here. Chicken-wise, I discovered pretty earlier on, chickens were not worth the hassle. I mean, in-game chickens, definitely not worth the hassle. Running around picking up these eggs. Bang. I got rid of them pretty quickly. Just didn't think that it was any good. I much prefer the in-game mechanic in 19 for the chickens over this. Where you got the egg boxes, and then you actually made money off the egg boxes and made chickens worth doing. In this version of the game, worthless. Absolute and utter pain in the butt and not worth it at all. Fattened chickens, as I said, you know, you bought them for like $120, you got $129 when you sold it. $9 a time. Unless you were really going to run big at them, it wasn't worth it. While I would like to try this again in the future with a big time operation, if we ever played 15 again, I don't think that it was worth it. It wasn't worth it for this challenge, guys, because it was too much work for this challenge. And as I said, if we get stuck into this, it was a downward spiral. Shape-wise, apart from them, you know, sometimes floating over at this end of the building for some strange reason, once I fed them and watered them, put a bit of water in every now and again, put a bit of food in every now and again, looked after themselves. Didn't really have to have much to do with them. Pretty good. Of course, we had their originally we had the Bobcat down here, and we swapped that for the Scorpion because the Bobcat was junk, and I deleted it. I think we sold a bit of wool on screen. I really like this idea for the wool as well. I haven't seen this in any subsequent versions of the game either. The pallet collector, where it rolls everything out for you. That would be nice in future versions. Instead of like 6 pallets in a box spawning, I go back to that 1 pallet spawning and having something like this to move it about. You know, because you can fit what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 pallets of wool there, and then the 16th one is the one that's building. Pigs we never really had much to do with. Again, I wouldn't mind looking at them maybe if we do this game in the future. Maybe. Of course we've got, you know, we'll be using that for silage. Use this for transporting the wool. The katanas we had a couple of fine katanas here. I think we had 3 of them or something for chopping. They were throwing errors up in the log whenever I went through trying to look for what was causing my lag, so they get deleted. But they're pretty nice to use. Pretty early on we discovered that these are all linked. So what I did was I set up these conveyor belts onto this. This worked really well, guys. I mean, all I had to do was go into them, go over, press the B button. Oh, hold on. I'll get closer. Press the B button. Turns it on. You can see the green light. And then you just drove underneath and it just started filling. This was really handy for filling in, you know, this TMR mixer. Only use this really to pull truckfuls out and send them over to the horses. We used this for a while over on this farm, the Class Cargos 9600. Yeah, it was alright. The Crones just were better. I think they held more. Another silage truck. And then we come into our, I suppose it's our grass, really. There's the other 2 960 Axions. 3 round balers, the McConsole, which we used on field 6. And then on 17 and 18 when we started doing that. We kept a couple of these for baling work. I think we had originally 10 of these out on the field or something, didn't we? Worked really well. Once we got the mod to auto-unload the wrap bales, worked perfectly. Just had to adjust the speed. Our big M500 worked perfectly in this version of the game, guys. Spreading and rowing on courseplay. I think I already almost having problems with that. I couldn't get it to widespread or couldn't get it to row or something. Oh well. It worked for us. You never really see me using this, guys. I basically use this for cleaning up the edges of field 17 and 18 and throwing the bales back on the field so the auto-load wouldn't miss them. And then we have these. I think we had 10 of these. Definitely had 10 of these in the go at one stage. The only reason with 3 left is because I accidentally bought 3 instead of hired 3. What are they? The W260s, and the headers are the 995s, and I'm stuck. But that's that farm, really. Oh, let me get back up here. Of course, we had a couple of them DB90s as well. I forgot about that. Let's quickly run back over here. No, this way. Of course, when we did do this, when I had the berries and stuff up and going, obviously we had the wood mills up and going. We had some honey up and going at one stage as well, but because of the lag problem and the fill problem, I got rid of them. Never really cleaned this up too much though. But we had our wood auto chiller. That was really nice. I had a version of this in 17, but I couldn't find one for 19. Gives another class scorpion. A couple more water tanks, and I think that's just a pile of wood chips. Where are we going? This way. Another thing we did have at one stage, I had some fermenting silos I was going to use on here. Because this is a fermenting silo. It's very slow, didn't hold very much. But it conflicted with the other fermenting silos, so we ended up just going and using pits. That was very, very slow. While it was great to have it, if I needed silos quick, it was just very, very slow. So yeah, that's that all done. Let me see. Where next? Let me just get back to the map. Bounce down here. We never really done too much work down here, guys. I kind of really got this too late in the game to get this up and going and make any sort of use of it. But that's our original setup. We had that when we started. You know, the man truck with the crampy trailer. We did put a couple of these potato washers down. I've always wanted to play with these, but never really found the time on the streams or whatever to really get into it. In this challenge, which is a pity, like, because they do work really well, and I like the fact they give you boxes and stuff. Just another Scania with an autoload. There is some more equipment around here. Of course, we had our two JCBs with our chaser bins for root crops. Worked for sugar beets, not so well for potatoes. A couple more Scanias with water tanks and fuel tanks and whatever else, and then our two root crop harvesters, the Maxtron and the Tektron, both the Grimmies. They're in game, but have been slightly modded to be wider. Right, where else have we got down here? I think that was everything down here, was it? I believe that was everything down this end of the field. So back to here. Okay, yeah, guys. We had 30 S690Is with corn headers. You know, that's over 15, 16, about 20 million's worth of stuff sitting over here. We used this quite extensively, and a couple of times we did field 13. Most of the time it worked pretty well. I will say it worked pretty well. You know, it did have some problems, but you know, you kind of expect that when you have that much equipment on a field. You know, 30 of these with all the chaser bins and whatever else, you know. But yeah, 30 on course play. Let's take a run this direction then. And this takes us back towards the farm 2, is it? Northwest farm. And get some water. All this talking makes you thirsty. So yeah, over here to our northwest farm then. Oh,